I'm going to pretend I didn't see this. This is an upside down version of Matt Armstrong's BMW E24. And that in the background is the Disaster Datsun, which if you think this is bad, that is a bajillion times worse. Link in the description for the full playlist. And there's also a blue table there as well. In the previous episode, we fabricated some panels for that front section and got them welded in. We finally completed this section here, and then we sorted these plug welds out on this sill. Well, in this video, we're going to continue on that front section. We're actually going to get to that back section. Right, we've got that small section welded on. Some of you may have noticed these holes which are in this old section but not in this new section. Now, this hole here is basically to hold this front lower lip on. So what I want to do is I want to get the lower lip in place first, and then I can drill the hole and put the captive bolt on the back. But I'm not going to do that in this video, but I will do that in the future. And of course, the same goes for this hole here as well, and this hole. But for now, I'm going to concentrate on this section here. Now, I do need to cut a little bit off this back section and fabricate a new piece, get that welded on. But then after that, what I can do is I can get that positioned and then get that welded in as well. So that's that complete. Right, so that's those two welded on. Now, this isn't 100% complete because I've still got a little bracket to make on here, which was actually rusted off. It's disappeared, it's gone somewhere. So I need to make that bracket. There's also this little rust area that I need to sort, and then there's a bracket that's just down here behind me, which I also need to do as well. So I will do them in a future video because I need to get the wing on and make sure they're positioned correctly because they basically support the wing. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this underseal off. So this is the underside of the battery tray. I'm going to take this underseal off and make sure all this area is good. and then I can move on to that back section. That battery tray actually cleaned up really nicely. This, on the other hand, this is not good. I'm going to pretend I didn't see this until later, and then I'll come back to this. What I am going to do is I'm going to fabricate a new piece for this section here and get that welded in, but also I'm going to have a look at this area here. Now this is a towing hook thing, which is strangely enough on the spare wheel well. And that is pretty rusty, to be honest, just like the rest of the car. So I need to unpick this and refabricate new pieces for that, and then I can get that welded back in. Now, this is made up of 3 different sections. You've got the actual hook itself, you've got this which is on the center, this L shape, and then you've got this thing that goes over the top, which this should be connected to this side. But obviously I really gently took it off of the car. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten this out so it's how it was when it was on the car, just about, and then I can start measuring up and actually remake these panels. Right, so I've made these 2 pieces. Now this one slips just into there like that, and that is welded on the top to this section here. Now this section is curved on this back side and straight on this side. I still need to do a little bit of a cut so it actually molds into this shape here, which I'll do in a second. Now I've drilled holes in the top to obviously weld it to it, and I've drilled more holes than what the original had, just to make it a little bit stronger. Now with this is the original. What I want to do is I want to take this section out here, clean that up and make sure I can reuse that to then slide it into there, get it all welded up, and then I can finally weld all this section onto here. Right, so I've made this section. This fits just on here, just like that. Now before I actually weld this on, I do want to fill these holes here. Now when I was drilling out the old spot welds, I've gone through a little bit to this metal as well, and I've actually gone through the metal there. So I want to weld those back up because parts of this is going to cover these areas here now. I'm going to weld those back up. I can then grind it down, put some rust neutralize on it, put some weld through primer on it, and then I can prime the back of this and then get it welded on.